The energy at the Wicked for Good premiere was something no one could have prepared for. Every fan waiting outside the event knew they were about to witness a historic moment, the reunion of two powerhouse women, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, together again on the green carpet. The excitement in the air was electric, the kind of energy that only happens when two stars who share deep respect, sisterhood, and talent come face to face. But what made the night even more unforgettable wasn't just their outfits, their smiles, or even their interviews. It was one tiny human moment that spoke louder than anything else. A moment that fans are still talking about today, when Cynthia Erivo gently held Ariana Grande's microphone during their interview. At first, it seemed like a small gesture, something so simple it could have been missed by anyone not paying close attention. But when you look closely, it said everything about their friendship, their journey, and the kind of bond that has grown between them through the making of this film. Let's go deep into what really happened that night, what it meant for them both, and why this mic moment became such a symbol of their connection and the spirit of Wicked itself. When Ariana and Cynthia walked the carpet, cameras flashed endlessly. Fans screamed their names, chanting lyrics from Wicked. Ariana wore her signature glam, soft tones, sparkly eyes, and that warmth she carries wherever she goes. Cynthia, on the other hand, carried herself like a queen, powerful and composed. Together, they were magic, two women representing the dual sides of strength and softness, light and depth, the very essence of Glinda and Elphaba. During one of the interviews, Ariana began speaking about the emotional end to the two-part Wicked journey. She explained how it felt to finally show the complete story, saying that both parts of the movie belong together, that one doesn't exist without the other. She was expressing herself with so much emotion, and the way her voice cracked slightly showed how meaningful this journey has been for her. And right there, as Ariana was sharing her thoughts, Cynthia reached out and held the microphone. Not to interrupt, not to take control, but as a quiet act of support. It wasn't just a friend helping another during an interview. It was deeper than that. You could feel the respect, the care, and the calm energy between them. Cynthia was saying without words, "I got you." That's something we rarely see in Hollywood, where competition and ego often get in the way. Instead, what we saw was pure sisterhood. Now, this isn't just a random gesture between co-stars. When you understand the kind of story Wicked tells, this moment feels even more symbolic. The story of Glinda and Elphaba is about two women who start off as opposites but end up deeply connected. They challenge each other, they grow together, and they change one another's lives forever. So when Cynthia, who plays Elphaba, reaches over to hold Ariana's mic, it's almost like Elphaba supporting Glinda in real life. Fans immediately noticed this online, with thousands commenting about how that simple move represented Wicked's true heart. But before we get too deep into symbolism, let's rewind to what this whole premiere was about. Wicked for Good. This film marks the conclusion of the two-part story that's been years in the making. Ariana and Cynthia have been living these characters for so long that they've practically become a part of their souls. Ariana even said during the interview that it finally feels like fans will see the full story. For her, it wasn't just about finishing a movie, it was about finally completing a journey that transformed both her and Cynthia as artists and as women. Ariana spoke about forgiveness, love, and growth, about how both Glinda and Elphaba go through challenges that push them to their limits. And when she said those words, you could see Cynthia nodding beside her with pride. There was so much quiet understanding between them, like they'd lived through these lessons themselves. Cynthia, when asked about her take on the ending, said something that touched everyone listening. She explained that this second part of Wicked is all about seeing how the characters have grown, how they deal with the consequences of their choices, and how they reconnect. Her words carried depth. She spoke not just as an actress, but as someone who has experienced struggle and strength firsthand. Her calm tone, her confidence, and her thoughtful pauses showed why she's become one of the most respected performers in the industry. What makes their dynamic even more beautiful is how naturally their personalities blend. Cynthia is grounded, wise, and strong. Ariana is bubbly, emotional, and radiant. Together, they balance each other perfectly, much like their characters do on screen. Watching them interact is like watching two forces of nature, one grounded like earth and the other light as air, working together in harmony. As the interviews continued, both women shared insights about the deeper meaning of Wicked. They talked about transformation, not just physical, but emotional. Ariana said that in this second film, you really get to see how both characters evolve after everything they went through in the first one. It's about dealing with loss, heartbreak, and self-discovery, and still choosing love, no matter how much it hurts. She spoke about forgiveness, and how even when it takes time, it always circles back to love. Her voice softened as she said it, and fans could see the emotion in her eyes. That's when it hit everyone. Ariana wasn't just talking about Glinda. She was talking about herself. Her journey from pop stardom to acting, from personal struggles to self-acceptance, it all reflected through her performance. Cynthia, on the other hand, reminded everyone that both women in Wicked are imperfect, and that's what makes them real. She said they're the epitome of humanity. They make mistakes, they fall, they rise, and they keep trying. Her words reminded everyone that even in a fantasy world of witches and wizards, the most powerful magic is still human emotion. Then came one of the most beautiful parts of the night, when they discussed the new original songs written for Wicked, for good. Cynthia talked about her song, No Place Like Home. The way she described it made it sound like more than just a song. It was an emotional confession. She said the song comes at a point when Elphaba must decide what she truly wants, to give up or to keep fighting for what she believes in, even when the world rejects her. Cynthia explained how Elphaba still loves the place that cast her out, that even when she feels unwanted, her heart never stops caring. She said the song is for anyone who's ever felt like they don't belong, yet still want to make a difference. Listening to her speak, it was clear she wasn't just talking about a fictional witch. She was talking about real people, about resilience, love, and hope. Then Ariana talked about her song, The Girl in the Bubble. She explained that it represents Glinda's biggest turning point, when she finally decides to step outside her bubble of privilege and ignorance. Throughout the films, we've seen Glinda slowly change from someone naive and self-centered to someone kind, brave, and self-aware. Ariana said that this song shows the moment when Glinda truly becomes good, not because of magic, but because she finally opens her heart. You could feel the emotion in her words when she said that it was an honor to perform this new song. She called it a moment of truth for Glinda and for herself. She even laughed softly, saying how grateful she was for the opportunity to bring such a powerful character to life. Both actresses expressed deep love for the music of Wicked, especially for the genius behind it, Stephen Schwartz. They spoke about how each lyric holds a message, how every note feels alive with emotion, and how these songs have guided them through personal transformations too. Then the topic shifted to the physical demands of the film, and that's when we really saw Cynthia's dedication shine through. She shared that this second movie required much more physical strength than the first. Flying, fighting, performing stunts, she did it all herself. Cynthia mentioned how she went through intense training to perform those wire scenes safely. She spoke about how her stunt coordinator, Joe McLaren, helped her build the confidence to move freely while suspended in the air. She also laughed while sharing how her mother worried about her safety, saying that every good mother has the right to be concerned when her daughter is flying around in a witch's costume. The room filled with laughter, but behind the humor was a lot of pride. Cynthia worked incredibly hard to bring Elphaba's power to life. You can tell by her words that she doesn't just act, she lives the character. Ariana added that she was deeply inspired by Cynthia's strength on set. She said she admired how focused and fearless Cynthia was during those demanding scenes. But Ariana also revealed that Glinda's transformation in this movie is just as challenging, emotionally. She explained that Glinda finally puts her big girl panties on, as she put it, and faces the truth about herself. According to Ariana, this time Glinda's not just the glittering good witch everyone adores. She's a woman learning who she truly is beneath the sparkle. Ariana said this journey was emotional, sometimes painful, but necessary. She admitted that she related to Glinda in many ways, that she too had spent years trying to live up to others' expectations, being perfect all the time, and hiding her real emotions behind a smile. But through Glinda, she learned to embrace her flaws and find beauty in imperfection. You could feel how real her words were. It wasn't just an interview, it was a moment of vulnerability. And when Ariana finished speaking, Cynthia looked at her with pride again. That same look she gave her when she held her mic earlier. That unspoken, I see you moment that fans can't stop replaying online. After that, the interviewer praised both of them, saying they looked beautiful and had created something truly special. The two stars smiled, thanked everyone, and shared one more heartfelt look. When they walked away together, you could see it. The bond, the respect, the love. Before leaving, Cynthia and Ariana reminded everyone that Wicked isn't just another movie. It's a story that will stay with people for a long time. Cynthia said, Wicked isn't just for a moment, it's for good. And in that one sentence, she captured the entire meaning of the project. Because Wicked for Good is not just about witches, magic, or music. It's about life, about friendship, forgiveness, and finding the courage to be yourself. It's about how people can start off as enemies, yet still end up changing each other's lives forever. It's about learning that good and wicked aren't opposites. They're parts of every human being. And when you think back to that small moment when Cynthia held Ariana's mic, it all comes together. In that second, you see everything Wicked stands for: support, sisterhood, compassion. Two women lifting each other up literally and emotionally. In a world that often tries to turn women against each other, Cynthia and Ariana's friendship is refreshing, powerful, and pure. Their bond has inspired fans everywhere, not just because they're talented, but because they're real. They celebrate each other's success, they show kindness, and they remind us that strength doesn't come from being perfect, it comes from standing together. When the cameras turned off and the music faded, the fans outside were still chanting their names. Some held signs saying, "We love our witches." Others waved green and pink flags, symbols of Elphaba and Glinda. And somewhere in that crowd, people knew they weren't just celebrating a movie premiere, they were celebrating what these two women represent: unity, friendship, and love. And as the night ended, Cynthia and Ariana walked away from the carpet, side by side, laughing. No competition, no ego, just two friends who had completed something extraordinary together. And maybe that's the real magic of Wicked for Good. Not the flying, not the spells, but the love that stays for good.